What's good, people? It's your boy NLG. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. I need to film this video real quick because I'm actually heading to the Emirates for the open training session they are doing today. It's really odd that they're doing, I don't know if it's just me, I don't recall Arsenal running an open training session like midway through not even midway through the season, just after the season started. But they're doing it today, so I've got some tickets going to be heading down there. Hopefully we see something more inspirational than we saw at United, so we can actually go into Leeds and get a solid 3 points and a performance out of it. But today I wanted to speak about two things: Trossard signing an extension, super odd, but also Rodrygo and the situation going on there. Make sure to drop a like and a sub to be a part of the NLG fam. NLG TV, you know what it is. Let's get straight into it. Leandro Trossard. Breaking news, he's agreed a new deal at Arsenal, will have his salary increase to reflect valued role in the squad. Deal not extended, actually, and will still run to 2027. This is an interesting one. Did you see this coming? Because I'd be mad if I said I did. Look, we know Trossard's quality. And me personally, out of the two between Trossard and Martinelli, one has to go. I will only entertain this if... Let's go full screen. I'll only entertain this if Martinelli goes and we get Rodrygo in. Because I actually think Trossard or Martinelli, I think both can be good squad players. I think either way you cut it, whoever you sell between the two of them, like, one of them should end up being a squad player. I think Martinelli could be a good squad player off the bench because if you manage to go 1 or 2 goals up, Martinelli can come on and run tired opposition legs into the ground, especially for defenders. Conversely, if you're, for example, or if you're trying to chase the game and let's say Arsenal are losing and you need fresh legs to tire down defenders, make sure fullbacks aren't pushing on for the teams who like to do that. If you're playing a high line, I think Martinelli can benefit there. We saw at the end of last season, he was making decent runs in behind through the middle, through the channels, and that was working quite well for him. But he shouldn't be starting in this team. His performances haven't been up to scratch, and we haven't seen the Martinelli we saw 2 years ago. We've decided to keep Trossard. Trossard gets GA. That's one thing you can say about Trossard. He gets GA on the board, and he's been consistent in that. And I think he's a great option on the bench to have. But if we are keeping Trossard, cool, fine, whatever. One of my issues with this is that we're going to lose him for no money. Yet another player we're losing for no money. Ozil, Ramsey, Mkhitaryan, who else? I mean, Pepe was basically nothing. Aubameyang. Like, how many players are we going to lose for no money? But, cool. You think Trossard is an option? Whatever. If you decide to do that, we need to go and get Rodrygo. And there's no excuses. I don't want to hear we can't get him. Go and make a bid. They said you couldn't get Isak. And at some point Newcastle started listening. Obviously now you can tell the situation is very techie, but you can convince a player to sign, especially if he's not even getting minutes on the pitch. And let's speak about that with Rodrygo. So here is what is going on with Rodrygo at Real Madrid. So yet again, Rodrygo registered 0 minutes, no minutes for Rodrygo as he was an unused sub against Osasuna. And again, like, if you're not even playing for against Osasuna, you're not valued in the squad. It's clear. It is clear as day. Xabi Alonso is not going to start him over the wingers right now. It's just not going to happen. Man City, we know, want him, but will only go if Savinho goes to Tottenham. And that move is not advancing because apparently it's being blocked by Man City. That's music to my ears because I think Savio is an absolute baller, and I think if he goes to Tottenham, that's going to be dangerous in terms of their attacking power. But also, Arsenal, this is a free opportunity. Go and get Rodrygo, even if you have to get him on loan with a buy option or like obligation. Go and do this deal. We have holes, we have gaps. We have gaps in the squad yet again. We are close. Every time Arsenal get close to doing the right thing, we somehow end up messing it up. Please just go and do this deal. Between Madueke, Martinelli and Trossard, neither of them cement themselves as first choice left wingers that can actually trouble a back line. And we saw, if Saka's having a bad game like he did against United, and Martinelli's having a bad game, Gyökeres is not seeing any of the ball. And Odegaard, again, hasn't been putting in good performances. Last season it was only Saka basically carrying the whole front line. We can't have another season where we're doing that again. Rodrygo very well may take a second to, bed into the team if he joins the club. But one thing you know for certain, I know Madueke has, the best one-on-one take-ons last season or whatever, but Rodrygo will actually get you goals, assists, and will take on and beat his men. No doubt he will stretch opposition. And that's the kind of player we need. 2 players on the flanks who can stretch opposition and actually allow also for Odegaard and Gyökeres to actually exploit that space and do what they do best. It will also prevent Gyökeres having to come out wide so much. I think that's a good part of his game, by the way, but we shouldn't have to overly rely on it. So look, this situation's actually starting to get on my nerves because we haven't got long of the transfer window left. We haven't sold anybody. Porto are in talks with Kivior. Can we get a good 25-30 million for him? Hopefully we can. Get Reece Nelson out the door, Lokonga, Vieira, Martinelli if we need to. Go and get Rodrygo done. We need a team that can actually scare defenses. The psychological game before you even play against the opposition, we need a front line where if you're the defense, you're like, oof, I'm in for a tough one today. That's the kind of team we need to be fielding this season if we're going to actually challenge seriously. So Arsenal, stop neglecting the final pieces of the puzzle. We've got a couple of weeks left. Go and at least bid for Rodrygo. At least, apparently we've held talks. You can hold talks all you want. But you ain't leaving there with nothing unless you put up the money. So Arsenal, please just do that. Trossard, we've got on a new deal. We've made that choice. Now make the right choice. Go and get Rodrygo. People, it's your boy NLG. I'll catch you lot in a bit. Peace.